Um, Mortal Kombat movie 2? Mortal Kombat 2, remember that a very infamous pandemic movie? Mortal Kombat, I think, was the first movie I reviewed here at Shacknews. Um, Sequel's finally coming, and we've got a poster showing us. Um, why am I drawing a blank on Billy Butcher's name? Carl
Carl
Urban
Urban.
as as Johnny Cage, which we talked about on this show like a year and a half ago when they announced it, and I think we were both kind of like, okay, that's a weird casting decision for Johnny Cage. But we've got our first poster um, from the studio that brought you Rebel Without a Cage, Uncaged Fury. Obviously, he's doing the cool bad boy action star thing, but what do you think about this, Greg? As someone who likes the original '90s Mortal Kombat movies, I don't remember your thoughts on the 2021 though.
It was fine. It's fine. It's a movie. It had everything. It's a little. These movies get a little more spectacular as you go forward. Like I remember watching the original '90s one, which was great and it's a classic, and it paved the way for like video game adaptations that could be good at the time, and also put Paul W.S. Anderson on the map. But like we were like, why didn't they throw a fireball? Why didn't they throw any like why didn't they do any of the crazy stuff? And they all do that in the new one, and it works fine. And I like the
Yeah.
Sub-Zero and the Scorpion story arc, and it was okay. It's fine. I mean, like I don't know if it's because I'm getting older. I just forgot a lot about it. I remember there's a fight scene with Goro somewhere at a cabin, and yeah, it was interesting. I know that I enjoyed it.
Mm. Yeah, as somebody who likes Mortal Kombat a good bit. I'm not like a diehard. I'm no like David Craddock or anything. I like Mortal Kombat games. I thought the 20, so if it was 2020, might have been 2021 movie. I thought it was like good fun. It was fine. I believe in my review I gave it I want to say 7. I think. Um, Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think that the whatever the hell they do with the main character, making it a new character, was such a mistake. A lot of adaptations do that, where they'll like throw in an original character with the characters everybody loves, and it's like, what are
There's
we
there's so many characters. Why? Like, why would you
like?
throw in an original character if there's this huge cast of 50
Not,
characters?
not only does Mortal Kombat have a big cast of characters, but it has iconic characters. You have Scorpion and Sub-Zero. My mom knows who Sub-Zero is. You know, it's like you already had this very easy in for your audience, right? Where like they instantly recognize Liu Kang, Kung Lao. I mean, there's so many people in Mortal Kombat that you could have made the protagonist, but then it's like Bob from accounting, and you're like, okay, but don't you guys all love like Jimbo? He's just like you. He's an everyman. He doesn't know this world. And I understand from a writer's perspective because it's like your easiest way to introduce the world, right? And that's why everything's explained to the main character because he doesn't know about the battle realm and whatever the hell else is going on and the ninjas and the factions and whatnot. It's an easy way to expose your audience alongside the main character. But I do think it made a lot of people just not give a shit about that movie. So yeah. And I do like this sequence with Sub-Zero in the house, or you see him freeze.
It definitely feels like that case of like they wanted to put something themselves, like their own stamp on the movie in some way. Directors do it, writers do it, like producers do it, sometimes even studios do it. They want to put their own feedback into their own stamp, their own, feel like they contributed something, right? And then adding new characters. Oh, that's cool. I'll add something to the mythos, but it's just like the mythos was so bloated. You really shouldn't have added a new character in the mythos to begin with. You had all these characters that you could have just interjected. Some have never even been in a live action adaptation before, and you make a new one. It just, yeah. But that's the dream. That's what they did. They sure did.
Yeah.
I think it's shot beautifully. I think it has great choreography, which is a big part of Mortal Kombat. A little excessively violent.
It's Mortal Kombat.
I mean, the '90s one wasn't that. Was like they wouldn't decapitating heads. You know what I mean? They exploded a guy. I think it was the most violent they get there. They explode a guy.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
That's like the whole franchise is built on blowing people's ribs out of their chest through their asshole. I don't know. I thought this movie was a good fun. It wasn't great, but like, I don't know. It was. I have a weird like nostalgia now for like that period of the pandemic where like, specifically, Warner Brothers I believe was doing this because they distributed this movie. But do you remember they had that initiative in 2021? And I mean, you're gonna love this. But where they were doing day and date releases for all their movies on HBO. It was still HBO Max back then, where it was like Dune 2 would come out or Dune 1 came out in theaters, and it was like 7 days later, maybe the same day, it was like HBO. I think Mortal Kombat was one of the first movies they did that with, where this came out on HBO Max in theaters on the same day, and it was kind of fun, like seeing everybody like almost live tweeted at home, like kind of having that instant like reaction to the movie. when it dropped. That was a fun thing that happened back then.
Mortal Kombat's also been like dragged through the mud a lot. Like they did the original one in the 90s and did baller numbers, and then Annihilation was just a hot mess. And then it was dead for a long time. And then they did for movies wise, and they did a animated show, which was okay. And then they hit all the points that you would with an IP now, like the checklist of IP. Okay, we do the movie, we do the sequel, we do a TV show, we do a spinoff, we do the comics, we do this. And to be fair, Mortal Kombat is ripe for that kind of like license. Like it fits it well, but it was dragged through a lot. And then there was that awesome trailer somebody did when I was in college. I don't know if you saw that. The original trailer that sparked the web series. It was like a fan trailer they did, and that sparked a web series. And the web series is actually better than the movie, I thought, just in terms of like casting and pacing and everything like that. I just really, really enjoyed it. It also had Casper Van Dien as Johnny Cage. Like Johnny Cage is arguably like one of the most iconic characters in video game history, right? Like he has this certain like thing about him where he just like steals all these presents. He had great one-liners in the original 90s movie. Casper Van Dien, Casper Van Dien? I think it's Van Dien. Did him fantastically in the web series. This his first fight. He fights Melina, and his first reaction is "fuck that," and he just runs the other way. the correct reaction to seeing someone with teeth like that, you're like, nope, other way. But like I watched this movie. I remember enjoying it. I remember liking the martial arts in it. But I'm drawing a blank, and it's never a great sign. And that just could be because I'm older and I'm forgetting more stuff, or that could also be because like we have so much media we consume now. It takes a lot to really cement itself in the back of your brain.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. And I'm curious to see how this is going to do. Like, are people going to go see this movie in theaters, I wonder? Just given the fact that the first one released during the pandemic and it was on streaming so fast. I know it's kind of like, you know, a lot of people defend it, but I do wonder if this comes out and it actually does well at the box office, or if people are just like, we did not care all that much to see a second one of these. But, I don't know. It's an interesting time for the Mortal Kombat franchise. I mean, there's been a whole video game between the release of this movie and the new one. Obviously, Mortal Kombat 1 is an entirely different discussion, but I don't know. And I do like the posters. Also, we should scroll down. There's a second poster in there I forgot to mention. There's the Johnny Cage one, but then there's like a generic one that's just the Mortal Kombat dragon logo with the 2 in Roman numerals.
I know why my transitions aren't working either. That's very odd. They're just not working. Something borked.
Byronar.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat cover. Yeah, that's a cute one. That's a cute one.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. Comes out. That's like the poster you would see in the theater like a year before a movie comes out. Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't even think you were alive at that time, Donovan, when the movie came out, but that theme song was everywhere.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it was everywhere. Like it was on the radio, it was at the skating rink, it was at the arcade, it was at laser tag, like anywhere you would go to a public event, like a public place where you did something, it would be there. Like at a little entertainment area, it'd always be played. It was just a very popular song at the time.